belongs to the Sixers in Detroit tonight, riding a 3-game win streak. Joel Embiid has returned from a knee injury, 3 straight games of 30 points and 10 boards. And after a win over the Cavs last night, Boston and Chicago taking on the Bulls. Jaylen Brown needed less than 20 minutes to score 33 on Sunday, and they should get Jayson Tatum back. He's been out with COVID-19 for 5 games. How about Brooklyn's Big Three getting their first win as a trio over the weekend against the Heat? Durant, Harden, Irving combining for 71 points, but they needed a huge fourth from Kyrie. Those two teams back in action tonight. And how about the Lakers on the road, putting that undefeated road record to the test in Cleveland? They won a franchise record 9 straight away from Staples to start the year. LeBron, by the way, has won 11 in a row against his hometown team. So much to talk about. And so we're pleased to be joined by Tim Legler. And Legs, hard to believe the first full month of this season is coming to a close already. So I know you're going to make Kevin, is sitting right over here to my right, real happy probably when you tell me who your MVP is this season.
Well, listen, Kevin especially knows where I live, and my friends don't want me to do this because they don't want me to jinx this, okay?
Exactly.
But it's got to be Joel Embiid. It's got to be Joel Embiid. And when you look at what he is doing right now, I think the biggest difference for me is his sustainability with the minutes he plays, his stamina, his conditioning. He can do it for longer stretches. He is absolutely dominating smaller front lines right now. Career highs in field goal percentage, free throw percentage, and here's the big one. He's shooting less threes than he ever has at any point in his career, and as a result, he's got the highest three-point percentage of his entire career as well. 28, 11 a night. This guy has been unbelievable. The Sixers 12-5, and they've had to deal with some COVID issues and an extended absence out of Seth Curry, and yet they're still 12-5, so it's got to be Embiid for me.
Okay, now answer me this. Luka Doncic is averaging a triple-double, but the Mavs have lost 5 of their last 6. They were trampled by the Rockets over the weekend. What's going on with Dallas?
Yeah, mystery team, because last year was one of the greatest offensive teams pace-wise and scoring-wise in terms of efficiency we've ever seen. Now they're bottom 10 in the league in points. They're bottom 10 in the league in three-pointers made. They're one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the league. So their offense is just not humming. As great as Luka Doncic has been, he has not had the consistent support, particularly from the three-point line. And you're starting to see some frustration out of Luka Doncic. I think surprised as anybody else that this team is 8-8, and right now currently out of the playoffs despite having one of the best players in the NBA.
Yeah, they're in that 9th spot. All right, so Brad Stevens says Jayson Tatum is back tonight. Kemba Walker still is not cleared for back-to-back. So what's the potential for the Celtics?
Look, this team could get to the conference finals, maybe even the NBA finals. I mean, I think they're in that category. What we haven't seen yet this year, really, is the 3 of these guys together, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, Kemba Walker. Kemba started the year hurt, and Jayson Tatum now has been out dealing with some COVID issues. Jaylen Brown has emerged now as a guy that is absolutely going to be a perennial all-star caliber talent in this league. So the way he has grown in their absence, I think that bodes well for them moving forward. But these 3 guys need time on the court. Once they do, that big 3 can be as good as just about any in the East, and they've got great chemistry, great coaching. Look for Boston to be right there in the mix, but they've got to prove it when push comes to shove in the postseason.
Absolutely, as they've shown. But again, just continuing to mature each of their stars and get better. Thanks, Jeff. Tyreek Hill had 13 receptions for 269 yards and 3 touchdowns in that Week 12 meeting. First player since Jimmy Smith in 2000 with 250 receiving yards and 3 TDs in a game. By the way, Tom Brady was blitzed on 48% of his dropbacks in that game, his highest in a loss since 2009. Here's Bruce Arians on the rematch.
Should be a great game. Should be a really good game, and they're a hell of a football team, and they're super well coached by Andy and his whole crew, Spags and everybody. Great players, so it should be fun. Familiarity helps. I'm not really excited playing Tyreek Hill and Kelsey and Mahomes. That's a formidable challenge, but our guys will be up for it. You learn from mistakes. You learn from really good things, and there were some really good things in that game. So we got a lot of stuff to build on.
Marcus Spears is back with us. So let's talk about, and that Week 12 matchup between these teams, Mahomes threw for 427 yards, 269 to Hill alone, who had 3 touchdowns. But that Bucs defense, wow. I mean, the relentless pressure on Aaron Rodgers. They were the MVP yesterday. What do you think Todd Bowles might have dialed up for this really singular talent of Patrick Mahomes?
Hannah, hopefully he dialed his pastor and told him to get the Lord on the line so they can figure out what they're going to do in this game against this offense. Listen, here's the issue with the Kansas City Chiefs. It's so many things. It's so many fires you're trying to put out throughout the course of a game, but even throughout the course of a play. All of these shifts in motions, these jet sweeps to come back and do something different. We know what type of challenges they present from a personnel standpoint. Tyreek is fast as anybody in the league. Travis Kelce is unguardable when you're trying to cover him with one guy. We talk about all of these guys, and then you have a quarterback that's never in a situation where he feels like he doesn't win the game. I was texting my NFL Live crew on group chat when Buffalo was up 9-0. I was like, this game feels tied. It almost feels like the Chiefs are in the lead, right? But to credit what Todd Bowles has, right? This thing really boils down to, because we going to give you X's and O's, Hannah. We as analysts going to tell you what the Bucs should do, what they shouldn't do. It's really based on execution. It's really based on their playmakers on defense being able to take the ball away and hopefully turn it into points like they were able to do against Green Bay. It's execution from players. There is not a scheme you can deploy to stop the Kansas City Chiefs. Your players have to stop the Kansas City Chiefs.
And we'll see if they have the players. They're starting safeties. I mean, who's going to double Kelce?
Whitehead, Winfield.
That's a big question.
Challenges, Hannah, challenges. Just thank God me and you don't have to.
Super Bowl in its home stadium after 3 straight road wins. Here is Bruce Arians.
I think the big advantage is, we stay in our own beds and sleep here and just do our normal routines. Nothing's out of the ordinary until we hit the media sessions next week. But everything else, just to be able to stay in your routine, sleep in your bed, and all that stuff I think it's a huge advantage.
For much more on this Super Bowl, and that is number 55, Marcus Spears joins us now. Marcus, all right, so if you go by comfort there with Bruce Arians, since that Week 12 loss to the Chiefs, they've won 7 straight. Their offense, it has found a rhythm. What's been the difference?
Kev, number one, the Tom Brady influence. That's number one. And listen, this has started to look like the type of offense that he wants to operate in. And there are some things that I can show you to tell you. Look at the check down here to Leonard Fournette. We watched Tom Brady do this in New England for years, getting backs matched up one-on-one on linebackers, allowing them to win and being able to check the football down. This screen pass to Gronk. This is Tom Brady in a nutshell. Get guys the ball where they can make plays, use the tools that I have to read defenses, and then at the end of the half against Green Bay, Kev, this is Tom Brady. Bruce Arians told you it was about Tom and what he said to me and found that matchup, caught Mike Pettin in the worst defense you can call in that possible situation, gets matched up against King, who had a terrible night, just being honest, ends up with a touchdown going in the half, and that score is 20-10 as opposed to 13-10. It's been Tom Brady-esque type offense. It's been this this gradual process to get to this point. We've been on here. You and I have talked about it. Me and Hannah have talked about it. Tampa needs to find their rhythm. They need to learn each other. The continuity. What's so impressive about what they've done, what's so impressive about what Tom Brady has done, you don't buy championships in the NFL. You can buy them in the NBA. You can buy them in the major leagues. But for them to get through this season, going through the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs, sometimes looking like the worst team in the NFL, having big wins going through the season, and we find ourselves with Tom Brady, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in the Super Bowl. Nothing speaks more to what he has done for this organization outside of just on the field, what he's done off the field to get this mentality and mindset right. But we see the influence on the field as well.
It's pretty incredible, too. And the credit to Bruce Arians, like you mentioned, and Byron Leftwich coming together and understanding the GOAT is walking in with these tweaks, right?
Kev.
Yeah, Marcus.
He's about to play in his 10th Super Bowl.
Crazy.
10. The average career 3.5. He's about to play in his 10th Super Bowl. Come on, man. Like we won't fully appreciate this until it's gone. We
100%.
won't. We won't, man.
10 in 21 seasons. Marcus coming back later in the show to talk Mahomes against the Bucs defense. We appreciate both sides as well, and Mahomes and what Todd Bowles has done with that defense. A closer look here. Kansas City opening up as the small favorite to win the Pro Football Championship, according to Caesars William Hill. Oh, you know that's bulletin board material already. If it holds that up, it'll mark just the second time Brady is